Welcome to the Great British Crochet Off technical version, where I chat through the technical aspects of this week's episode of the Great British Crochet Off, a series where I watch an episode of the Great British Bake Off and then crochet something that inspires me from it. This week I was inspired by the donuts that they made. If you missed this week's episode, you can watch it here. So let's go back in time and see how we got here. So this week was advanced dough, and I will admit this is one of those episodes where I was kind of waiting for it to happen so I could actually make the thing that I wanted to make. I've been wanting to do a set of scrunchies for months now at this point, and I've just been waiting for the right prompt. And I was like, I think there's a donut week coming up. And so we are gonna make a set of donut scrunchies. So I have some classic little black elastics, and this is what we're gonna use on the inside of our scrunchies. And I wanna do all of them different flavors of donuts. So I have a bunch of different basic yarn colors. We're gonna do red velvet, chocolate, spice, classic cake, and then we're gonna do little frosting on all of them and sprinkles, and they're gonna be pretty fantastical. So I've spent a lot of time planning out in my head how I'm gonna do these, so let's get going. So step one of our donut hair scrunchies. So I'm using a 4.25 you can't see, it's all worn off, but a 4.25 millimeter hook here. And this is just my standard big twist acrylic yarn, and I've chained 21, and then I've crocheted about 9.5 inches. So I'm making a bunch of the bases, the donut part of the donut now. And then once I have at least 6, hi Daphne, I'm going to decorate them, and then I'll sew them onto the hair tie. I thought about crocheting them onto the hair tie, but that seemed like a lot more work than just sewing up a couple of seams, and it seemed like it would be neater work to do. Hi Violet. And so yeah, I'm gonna try and do, it's Monday morning or Monday afternoon-ish. So I'm gonna try and make at least 6 of these. I would love to have a full dozen donuts by the end of it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but let's see how far we can go. I was working on my 6th of these little donut bases when I was like, wait, what if this doesn't work? So then I was like, I'm gonna make at least one prototype one and finish it and make sure it works before I move on along with this. So I made this little frosting stripe. This is gonna be for the red one here because it's kind of like a red velvet donut with a cream cheese icing and little chocolate sprinkles. So this is, I chained 9 and then I worked 8 across. This is just in single crochets, and then I added my sprinkles. And now I'm gonna sew it to the outer edge because I want the frosting to kind of be in the middle. I want it to be like that, and then this is the inside edge of the donut. So I'm going to sew the frosting to the donut first. So now I have the base of my donut, and now we're going to sew it onto this hair tie. So to be clear, I still don't know if this is going to work, but I have the hair tie inside of here, and I'm sewing the outside edges together and hoping for the best. And I'm sewing together these 2 open edges, so it's one big circle. Giving 9.5 out of 10 for donut adorableness. So it is holding up my bun. I'm not really a scrunchy kind of person. I'd say it works very well as a bun holder, less as a ponytail holder, because you can't really double it over at all, just because there's so much fabric. Is that normal for a crocheted scrunchie? Guys, I'm not really a scrunchie girl. I'm just thinking about, I think it's unavoidable that you can't fold it over if it's crocheted, especially if it's crocheted in this style. I feel like I'm happy with this. I mean, this is also on the wrist. How cute is it to have a little donut bracelet on your wrist? So I'm gonna make the rest of these. I think I am only gonna end up making 6 just for now, but I think this is adorable. I'm very satisfied with myself. Let's go make the rest of these. So this was, as always, way more work than I thought it would be, but all of the donuts are sprinkled and they're put together besides sewing them around the hair ties. So I sprinkled the frosting part, and then I sewed it to the donut base, and I wove in all of the ends except for the ones on the actual donut itself, so I can use that to sew it all together. So I have 6 here. I have 1 already done, so we're gonna have 7 donuts, a baker's half dozen. So now I'm going to work on sewing all of these up probably tomorrow because I need an emotional break from this project. And here I have them all sewn up, every single flavor, all sewn up around a cute little hair tie. So they are a fun little scrunchy bun holder thing. This challenge was a lot of fun to do. It got a little tedious at the end because I was sick of sewing these together, but thinking of the different color combinations brought me so much joy. I love a week where I can bring in lots of different like vibes into my crochet.